Let's take a look at the Metro owner's manual from when it first opened in 1976. And this is not for the owners of Metro, this is for the public who own it through taxes or whatever. It's promotional material. Did you know that Metro is originally only open on weekdays? That is technically true, except this was kind of like a pre-trial. It was just the first, I think, 4 or 5 stations on the Red Line in this phase 1, and it was open to the public, but it was basically like a trial run. So I wouldn't say Metro officially really opened until 1977. To go with that, I was always under the impression that Metro always had magnetic fare cards and always had a computerized fare system, and apparently they actually opened without that, and this was replaced very quickly, and there's a different page that says they're going to. So I think by the time that like actual system opened in 1977, they already were using the magnetic fare cards, but apparently there's a small amount of time where you had to pay with cash and exact change. Metro is here, but it just isn't finished yet. There's only the 4.6 miles in the middle of the Red Line that is open right now. So, but in a few short years, that being 25 years, the full 100-mile system will be operated. Here's some history for the plebs who didn't read The Great Society Subway. So I learned something new from this, which is that the platforms are sloped away from the tracks so that if you drop a water bottle, it'll roll away from the tracks. I didn't know that. Is that standard with Metro and subway systems? I don't know. Metropolitan Train, London Underground reference. They say that the full system is going to be open in 1982. As I hinted, and by hinted I mean blatantly said, that was actually 2001 when all was said and done, but good try. What is interesting here is that the 35 miles per hour average speed, including stops, is actually pretty on par with Metro statistics. However, the 75 miles per hour, those of you who've been watching some of my recent videos know that that hasn't happened in a long time, but Randy Clark is planning to bring that design speed back. Here's where they have to explain to the 1970s Americans what a train station looks like because they've never seen one before. Did you know Rhode Island Avenue used to be a park and ride? I don't know why I said used to, as if it's not still true. I mean, obviously they've built these on the parking lot, but they do have these giant garages, so it kind of is still park and ride vibes. Okay, this page stopped me in my tracks. Take a look at this pylon with that red dot. Some of you may know that recently, as of like this year, Metro has redesigned the pylons and a bunch of other signage, and they used to have these lines showing like what colors went to the station, and the redesign has these dots, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't like it. I didn't like it. I liked the lines, and I just thought it was like classic and figured it had always been there, but apparently not. Apparently they had the dots originally and must have at some point switched to the lines, so I don't know. So they talk a lot about park and ride, but did you know that bus and ride is really the best way to get around? So here's the fare thing. In the near future, fares will be collected by automatic fare collectors. The elevators, which at the time appear to only have been allowed for handicapped people, and while of course they exist for disability accessibility reasons, anyone can use them now. But back then, you apparently had to call the station attendant in the elevator, and they would move it up and down for you. And here was the plan system map at the time. You can see all the dots are empty because the only parts that were actually built was Farragut North to Rhode Island Avenue. And no, Noma did not exist yet. Noma opened in 2004, and it's not on the plan as an empty dot either because it was not planned at all at the time. Also, Franconia and Springfield were not Franconia Springfield. There were 2 separate stations, and they weren't even on the same line. They went in different directions. I don't know why this picture surprised me because... Well, the reason was because there's no canopy, so you can see it right outside the station. The reason I don't know why that surprised me is because this existed on some stations until very recently, like the last few years. So I've seen this in my life, but I just forgot, I guess. Look at this very detailed explanation of the different systems controlling the automatic train operation. It is so great to have this now that it is finally relevant again because, wow, congratulations, Metro. You're finally catching up to your 1976 technology, and that was turned off for 15 years. There's this how to care for your Metro section, which talks about the rules, but also talks about like everyone having to take their part in that and also telling each other the rules. So like, don't permit it in your Metro by anyone. And I kind of wish that existed today. I mean, I can't say anything. If someone's like blowing smoke on my face on the train, I don't do anything. Like, I'm not going to start a fight, but it would be nice if, everyone on the train supported each other and was just like, you can't blow smoke on all of our faces. I won't enforce all the rules, though, because I actually do not know what expectorating is. Okay, I looked it up. It's phlegmy coughing, so I guess they were ahead of the curve with COVID.